Welcome into Studio. So what you see here is the library of the agents that I've created. And as I said before, we're going to talk specifically today about claims, about police reports and FNOL. So I'm going to dive into this specific agent that we've created that solves that problem. So when I come in, you can see the very first thing that we're looking at here is actually a handwritten police report. You can see the handwriting is quite sloppy. It's not easy to read, but we've read this with great accuracy. So you can see when I click into any of these fields, it's going to show me exactly where that's coming from. So that's kind of our X-ray feature. You can click on it and X-ray the document to see where that information is coming from. Let me tell you why that's important. For auditing trails and for understanding where the information is coming from and that it's correct, you have to be able to know what field it's pulling that from. So you can see the state here is Texas, and that's correct. It's pulling it from that field. As we scroll down and I hover over, you can see every field where the information is coming from. If it's not on this screen, so if you see here the officer name, it's not listing on the screen. So when I click into it, it's actually going to take me to where that information is at. So the officer badge number is 87148. You'll see down here on the screen, that's correct. That's actually what it is. So it's pulled that information out correctly. Down here at the bottom, you can see that we actually have the party's name, who is involved. And then this is a really neat feature that we've set up. It actually gives us a liability here. The driver of the blue Honda Civic appears to be the one that's liable as they left the scene without stopping or providing information. So you don't have to listen to that. Obviously, we want you to go in and make the right decision based on the information that you have out of this police report. But we're giving you the ability to see, hey, based on what's in this report, this is where we see the liability is. So this is a handwritten report. Let's jump over and take a look at a PDF report. So this report, completely different structure, right? This is a PDF. It's filled out very differently. The formatting, the blocks, the image, all of it's very different than the handwritten report we saw. You can see very quickly that we were actually able to go in and pull out the exact same information. One of the things I want to highlight here, see this officer name? It says R. Waters. That is the officer's name, but if you look at the investigating officer in this block that it's pulling it from, it actually says off R. Waters and then has dash 1054, which is his badge number. So initially, when we ran this, it pulled all that information in. So I'm going to show you what we were able to do here with the schema behind the scenes. So when we dig into how the schema is created and how it is set up, when I look at officer name, you can see what we actually did just with text. We just typed this in, added it in to say ignore phrases like officer, OFF, etc. that indicate that it's a police officer. So now, because we put that in, and then we also added in a second field here for officer badge number and gave it the text strand of the police officer's badge number, it took that information instead of being in one field. Now that's broken it into two fields, and it's only captured the information that we've asked it to capture. So when I go back out and look at this, you can see that's all that's there. It's not pulling any other information in. The OFF is gone. So it's a nice, slick, easy way to pull that information in. So that's the police report side. I want to jump over to one of the other most common things that we see on the claim side that can be a hassle and all different types is the actual FNOL, the first notice of loss. So you can see the format of this. It's 2 pages. You can look at both pages and see where the information is contained. You can see how fast that just ran. I literally clicked run and it was back within less than 3 seconds. So we look through the information. Again, if there's something specific that you want to see where it's coming from, you can hover over that. It's showing you this whole block that it's coming from this block. But then if you see the red outline, it's actually giving you the exact field where it's pulling that information from. So again, this is very drilled down, intentional level information, field level information here. The assigned adjuster to claim, what type of policy it is, the loss description, the claimant name, the injury. So it will even go in, find where the injury is listed, and it's going to tell us exactly, hey, there's rib pain. They were transported to Tampa General Hospital. So amazing field level detail that we're able to pull out of this. Here's a second FNOL. Again, very different format. This is actually an Accord form. So it doesn't matter if it's a generated form that you have in-house or if it's one that you're pulling in and you're actually using a Accord form, where we are still able to read that just like that we do with a different document type. Pull the information in, and you can see all the information that it pulled out. I want to point out here too, for a claimant name, there's not an actual claimant name on here, so it's not returning. That's key to understand. when you're dealing with LLMs, they will often hallucinate. And how we alleviate that is with machine learning. So it's not going to just give us an answer to make us feel good that, hey, it found some kind of answer. It's actually saying, there's not an answer for this, so we're not going to return an answer for you. Now, for the extraction piece, when we're going to move this over to a different platform, to say your policy admin system, we can do that via API, where it's just you never see it, you never have to mess with it. We can do it via JSON or a markdown file, whatever makes the most sense for you. Let's say that we had some information wrong. Let's say Sandra Whitmore wasn't actually the claimant's name. It is. That is the adjuster's name. That is actually her name. But let's say it's not. I can click into that and I can change this right here. And I can say, no, her name is actually Sandra Smith. So I can change that. And once I hit mark as correct, it's going to update that to say, yes, this is the correct information now. I'm not going to do that because that's not her name. But if I did that, it would save that as that is the correct name in this instance. No witnesses here. So again, it didn't pull anything back. So it's an empty field. We're not going to try to give you an answer to just to appease you. I want to jump over for one more quick view before we wrap this up. So we can look at the table view of where things are. So we can see all four of these reports at once. So from a human in the loop perspective, if you need to review this, you can go through and you can see every field, see what the field level accuracy is, and you're able to understand where the information is coming from and what's there. So it's a quick look. So you don't have to go in field by field. You can look at everything and just correct the things that maybe didn't pull in the way that you wanted them to. So again, just a really quick look at what we're doing with claims on the FNOL side and the police report. I'd love to dive in and show you more around your documents with this and see how we can help you out. Thanks for watching.